Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Paramanandamadhavam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Shri Gurum Deenatarinam. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I'd like to welcome you all for today morning's daily divine discussion. And we were discussing from the first canto, fifth chapter, sloka number 15. We had discussed some portion of the purport, right? And this was Narad Muni telling Vyasdev that what you have done is jugupsitam. It's a very condemning act that you performed by facilitating the sense gratification of the materialistic people of this material world, the conditioned souls, so that they are able to justify it through the Shastras. It's a very dangerous thing. I would request devotees to kindly turn on the videos and invite devotees to read the purport. Those who wish to read, they are most welcome. Okay, we'll start with Her Grace Dayamai Radha Prabhu. Go on. We can start reading
Yes, Prabhuji, I don't see the
from,
screen yet.
yes, sure, you can read from here.
Okay, one second. The Vedas. The Vedas are meant for going back to Godhead, going back home, to revolve in the cycle of transmigration in a series of lives numbering 8,400,000 is an imprisoned life for the condemned conditioned souls. The human form of life is a chance to get out of this imprisoned life, and as such, the only occupation of the human being is to reestablish his lost relationship with God. Under the circumstances, one should never be encouraged in making a plan for sense enjoyment in the name of religious functions. Such diversion of the human energy results in a misguided civilization. Srila Vyasadeva is the authority in Vedic explanation in the Mahabharata, etc., and his encouragement in sense enjoyment in some form or other is a great barrier for spiritual advancement because people in general will not agree to renounce material activities which hold them in the material bondage. At a certain stage of human civilization, when such material activities in the name of religion, as sacrificing animals in the name of yajna, were too much rampant, the Lord incarnated himself as Buddha and decried the authority of the Vedas in order to stop animal sacrifice in the name of religion. This was foreseen by Narada, and therefore he condemned such literatures. The flesh eaters still continue to perform animal sacrifice before some demigod or goddess in the name of religion, because in some of the Vedic literatures, such regulated sacrifices are recommended. They are so recommended to discourage flesh eating, but gradually the purpose of such religious activities is forgotten, and the slaughterhouse becomes prominent. This is because foolish, materialistic men do not care to listen to others. Who are actually in a position to explain the Vedic rites. Shall I stop, Prabhuji, or go on?
Yeah, we can pause here.
Thank you.
All right. The material world in our Shastra is compared to a prison. Sometimes people think that God has sent us all here and we are all so much experiencing suffering. God is really very cruel. There is a difference between prison and a concentration camp. In the World War II, the Germans, the Nazis, they had set up many, many concentration camps. And you know what is the objective of concentration camp? Holocaust. The objective of concentration camp was to torture and kill. So like that, many lakhs of Jews were killed. Whereas the good news is this material world is not a concentration camp, it's a prison house. And what is the objective of prison house, which is more popularly in India known as jail? They call it jail. Yes. So what is the objective of prison house or a jail? Their objective is reformation of the inmates. That is their objective. How many of you heard this news that so many prisoners, because of good conduct, they were released from the prison? They release them. You exhibit good conduct, you release, because that is the purpose of jail, to reform the criminals and to make them good civilians. Right? Make them good civilians. That is their objective. So similarly, this material world is compared to jail, a prison house. And the moment you enter jail, have you seen the inmates have particular dress they wear? In India, it is white dress with that black stripes. And in North America, what is the dress that inmates wear? They wear this dress. Correct? They wear saffron. His Holiness Bhakti Maharaj was once walking. He has walked several times across Canada. He's walked around 5 times, the walking monk. So one time he was telling us that there was a cop's car following him, and these guys were even calling for a backup. So they were calling for backup and walking. And he could see that these guys are following me very slowly without making noise. But Maharaj noticed it. So Maharaj turned back and he went up to them and asked, "Yes, what is it?" So they looked at him carefully and they said, "Nothing. Go, please go. No problem. Everything's sorted." Said, "What happened?" They said, "There is a convict on the loose. He has escaped from the prison. We were suspecting you may be that person because you're wearing that dress." So this is dress given. So what is the holy dress is given to saffron color means renunciation. That's given to the inmates of the prison house. What a culture. Anyways, so the point is we are all given a dress. Similarly, the conditioned soul is given the material body as a dress in the prison house. There's a prison housekeeper, and the prison housekeeper is Maya Devi. And in the prison house, it is not that the life is easy. It is very hard working. You have to work really hard. You have to break rocks, make matchboxes, make this government agarbattis, yeah, incense sticks. Many things these guys make in the jail. And even in jail, you can earn money. There is somebody kept for shaving. They show in that movie, Sholay. So there is one fellow who is shaving and getting money. Yeah, you can make money there also. So yeah, the point is there is a small world within that world, but that world is the world of very hard work. People have to do a lot of physical labor, and the food that you get is also not quality food. Nothing is there. No facilities for enjoyment. It is a facility for reformation. So this material world is also like that. So one should never ever see material world as a fantasy land, no Disneyland and all these kind of things. We should never have this place like that. This particular material world is a land. It's a facility for reformation. Reformation of what? Reformation of our independent mentality, independent desire to enjoy separate from Krishna, rebellious attitude towards Krishna. Yes, autonomous attitude towards Krishna. We want autonomy. We want to be on our own. We don't want Krishna. Just like uh, a child grows up a little bit in adolescence and then tells parent, "No, I don't need parents. I'll be independent. I'll be on my own." So similarly, the jiva who has given up Krishna and come to experience autonomy. So such a person is captivated by Maya, and she torments them with the threefold miseries. Her Trishul, she has the trident, Trishula. There is the threefold miseries: Adi Bhautika, Adi Atmika, Adi Daivika. These are the different types of kleshas or miseries which are imposed by Maya. So that is one beautiful thing that is mentioned. And so the objective of coming into the prison is to reform as good citizens. And good citizens are the ones who are living in the kingdom of God. So go back to Godhead. And this material world is a prison house. Right? So this is the concept which one has to understand. The second thing is sense gratification on the name of religious functions. This is very common. How many of you have seen Ganesh Utsav? Yes. What happens there? The first 10 minutes, there is bhajan and devotion happening. What happens after that? After that, it's musical chairs, dumb charades, lemon race, sack race. These all games happen there. The rest of the time, then there are all Bollywood songs playing on loudspeakers. Yes, people go there for sense gratification. It's a time for holiday and sense gratification. And what do the politicians do? They also celebrate festival because louder the speaker, bigger the pandal they make, more their power, political power. They show political power. Then they put big banners organized by this particular party. It is nothing but a game of sense gratification. They think they will create bigger festival, and that way they will have more votes. And most of the guys who dance there in the Bollywood songs, they're all drunk. They are fully drunk and they dance there. It's an occasion for socializing and um, sense gratification. That is what is the religious function today. Very unfortunate. So Narad Muni could foresee this. Similarly, people will use all varieties of karma kand to fulfill lessons. They will do sense gratification and then they'll do prayaschit. And Parikshit Maharaj condemns this. Manye kunjara sauchavat. Just like an elephant taking a bath. Elephant will go take a bath and again take all the mud and put all over its body. So people will use all the scriptural facilities to increase their sense gratification. Number one. Number two, whatever sins they have done, they will commit prayaschit, atonement, and again commit newer sins. And this process goes on. So where is the reformation? Where is there a reviving of Krishna consciousness? There. Yeah. Many people justify that, okay, there is no problem with eating meat. And if you see, Shastras make a statement. They say, Na doshayati mamsaha, na vyasano na maithune, pravritim cha sarva bhutanam, nivritascha mahafalaha. This one statement comes in the scriptures, which says there is no problem with drinking liquor. There is no problem with meat eating. There is no problem with indulging in illicit sex. Yeah, na dosho. It says like there are statements. Of course, such statements can be totally taken out of what is spoken. The next one. The next statement is pravritim sarva bhutanam. Every living entity is doing it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Just like we chant Hare Krishna to charge ourselves, even laptops do need charging. Chanting Hare Krishna is charging our batteries, spiritual batteries. Okay, we are back. So, the scriptures say like this, but of course, there is a context to that, a huge context. So, every particular act, this says Nivritaschu Mahafala, somebody who is not doing Pravriti Sarva Bhutanam, everyone is doing these activities, breaking the four regulative principles. But Nivritischa to Mahafala. You don't do it, you get great results. Materially and spiritually, you'll get great results. Then the context, why it is allowed, one may ask. Na dosho, it is said, why it is allowed? Yes, there is an understanding given after that. Yes. It says, Mam sa, say, Mam sa na bhakshayanti, Mam edayanti tanma. So whosoever mamsa you're eating, that mamsa will eat you later on. That is the meaning of mamsa. Mamsa. I will become you, you become me, and then you can eat my flesh. So when people repeatedly do these things, it takes a long time for people to, click. It clicks to people that, okay, my God, then this is very dangerous. Next life he'll eat me means I'll have to take a next life. Yes. And that'll be so painful. Just like this person is undergoing so much of pain when it's getting slaughtered. It's not easy to get the common sense. Once there was a butcher. This butcher was about to cut the throat of a chicken, of a hen. And this hen was it was running from here and there. The son of the butcher started crying. The father said, why are you crying? He said, this creature will be in so much of pain. The father said, how do you know? He said, yesterday, a little bit of your nail, extra nail. How many of you cut a little extra nail and felt pain? Nail cutting? Immediately, little bit extra it gets cut. Oh, it starts paining. A little bit of nail got cut, you were in so much of pain. How much excruciating pain will this poor creature face? You're cutting the throat of this chicken. So people don't have this dull head. They're very dull heads. He couldn't understand it. He said, oh, no, there's no pain. It'll be one shot and over. Then we will taste very nicely. Oh, Krishna. So, like the scriptures allow all these injunctions, then people will forget the goal of life. And most of the times, people think the after reading all the Vedas and Upanishads, the goal of life is to go to heavens and enjoy. This human body is not meant for enjoyment. Heavens are the actual purpose is to go to Swarga and enjoy with apsaras and fine foods. This is what is the goal people think. They think this is all in all. And that's what these literatures, Narada Muni is telling Vyasdev, you're writing these literatures, that's what it has led to. Alright, we'll proceed ahead. Sachidanand Prabhu, you're ready? Okay. In the Vedas.
In the Vedas, it is distinctly said that the perfection of life is never to be attained either by voluminous work or by accumulation of wealth or even by increasing the population, but it is to attain only by renunciation. The materialistic men do not care to listen to such injunctions. According to them, the so-called renounced order of life is meant for those who are unable to earn their livelihood because of some corporeal defects, or for persons who have failed to achieve prosperity in family life.
Thank you.
In
Quick
Hare
comment.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. I'll just quickly comment on this. Yeah. Vedas very clearly, there are two margas mentioned, the two paths. One is called the Pravritti Marga. Pravritti Marg, the second is called Nivritti Marg. So Pravritti Marg means you do religious activities, dharma. Then by doing dharma, you get artha, you get wealth. And with that wealth which comes out of dharma, you have materialistic enjoyment. Yes? But ultimately, after materialistic enjoyment, which is done by the wealth that is born out of dharma, you will experience what? You will experience moksha, feeling, oh, we have to get detached from this world. There is nothing in this world. This feeling comes. So ultimately, the Vedas, either through Pravritti Marg, Nivritti Marg is straight. It directly tells you material world is nonsense. Just give up and surrender to Krishna. Renounce. Moksha is the goal. There is nothing in materialistic enjoyment. So that is Nivritti Marg, direct. Oh, Pravritti Marg is, oh, you want to experience? Okay, all right, you experience. That is allowed. That's totally allowed. Right? You want to do that? Yes, you can do that. Or Nivritti Marg, yes, that is also fine. Both are bona fide path. But ultimately, where it comes to the point of surrender. There is a beautiful shloka that comes in the Bhagavatam. Nehayat karma dharmaya na viragaya kalpate. Na tirthapad sevaye jivan api mritopi saha. So, karma, this verse says, Nehayat karma dharma. If your karma doesn't become dharma, and your dharma doesn't lead to vairagya, and your vairagya doesn't lead to tirthapada seva, serving the lotus feet of Krishna and his devotees, then that person jivan api mrtopisa. There is no use of this person living because he's as good as dead. It's a heavy shloka that comes in Bhagavatam. Right? So this is the path. Either through pravritti mark or nivritti mark, you come to the purpose of renouncing. But usually, how do people see renunciates? People see renunciates as parasites. Oh, these people, they failed in their business, they failed in their love life, they failed in their sense gratification. That is why these people, okay, sense gratification, you fail, everyone fails. But these guys had a very big setback in material life. Yes, they failed in education probably. Because of all these reasons, they did not have any other option. Poor people, they took up to this path. And now these people are living an austere life. They didn't have any options in life, because of which they became like this. Yeah. So this is the foolish understanding. On the other hand, if somebody has become renounced, it is something glorious. When in Vedic times, when the parents would send their children to Gurukul, if the child would go to the Gurukula and return, he would get married. And the child doesn't return, the parents would celebrate. Would celebrate that our son has become sannyasi. He has taken sannyas. Because there is a statement in the scriptures that in a home where the sannyasi is born, his 1 billion relatives are delivered. Yeah, ancestors and everywhere. Everybody's delivered. That's the glory of taking sannyas. After taking sannyas, even if the one doesn't become pure devotee, such a person enters into the sun planet. That is the minimum package. And the sun planet you enter, you will be trained personally by the student of Krishna, Vivaswan. He will train you very nicely. And after his training in bhakti, there is sure way, short way to go back to God. And such facilities are available. So point is, we should understand the Srimad Bhagavatam is not after Pravritti Marg, because people will waste their time. They think Dharma is the goal. They get stuck there. Or they think Artha is the goal, because they do Dharma and get Artha. Most of the people, they go to temple for what? For material facilities, Artha. The more money, oh, I want this job, I want money, let my business become successful. Artha, that is their purpose. And why people want Artha? To enjoy. To enjoy nice eating, nice sex life. That's called Bhoga and Aishwarya. These two things people want. Where is Krishna in the picture? No Krishna. There is no goal of mukti also. The Bhagavatam is very clear. Nivritti mark. Don't waste time with pravritti mark. Why did you give this? Narad Muni is saying, why did you give at all this particular path? People will get confused. Okay. When did you speak about the Pancham Purushartha, which is bhakti? Yeah. We will go ahead. Mother Shalini, you can read. Where are you? Yes. Okay.
In histories, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you. In histories like the Mahabharata, of course, there are topics on transcendental subjects along with material topics. The Bhagavad Gita is there in the Mahabharata. The whole idea of Mahabharata culminates in the ultimate instructions of Bhagavad Gita that one should relinquish all other engagements and should engage oneself solely and fully in surrendering unto the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. But men with materialistic tendencies are more attracted to the politics, economics, and philanthropic activities mentioned in the Mahabharata than to the principal topic, namely the Bhagavad Gita. This compromising spirit of Vyasadeva is directly condemned by Narada, who advises him to directly proclaim that the prime necessity of human life is to realize one's eternal relationship with the Lord and thus surrender unto him without delay.
Yes, thank you. So, the principle in this particular purport is the sense of urgency. You're traveling in a bus and you get an announcement that there is a bomb planted in this bus. What will you do? Will you start saying, oh, this bus is so uncomfortable? The seats should be softer. Let's make the seats softer. Oh, this bus should have very nice tray for, keeping our food and having. This is not proper. Or the air conditioning is not working properly. Oh, these guys are supposed to give us blanket. Will you think about all these things, or you will just get down from the bus and leave? Try to go as far away from the bus. Yes, there's a bomb. Bomb! Bomb! Just run away from there. And that's what you would do if you're intelligent. If you're not, then you will sit there and keep analyzing and keep complaining. Oh, this should have been better. This facility should have been better. No. If there's a bomb, just get out. Similarly, this material world, there is a bomb already planted, and we don't know when that bomb will explode. And what is that bomb? That's called time bomb. Yes, we are all fitted with a time bomb, and this time bomb can go anytime. Which means our life, how long we will live, is very uncertain. Parikshit Maharaj knew for sure he's going to live for 7 days, and he was so well prepared. Even Brahma knows how much time he's going to live. Everybody, except human beings in Kali Yuga, everybody has their 100 years of life. Everybody's 100 years of life is fixed. People of Kali Yuga, why their 100 years of life is gone? They're supposed to live for 100 years because of sinful activities. Sinful activities and wrong lifestyle. These are the two things which are totally taking away the life of people of Kali Yuga. That's what is happening. Chanakya Pandit makes a very interesting statement. He says that a cloth which is too much underneath the sun. That's why the moment the cloth is dried, we need to take. Of course, Canada, you don't dry the cloth under the sun. It's all put in dryer. Yes, we will have washing machine and dryer. Whereas the cloth should be having exposure under sun, but for till the time it gets dried. If you leave your cloth underneath the sun for a long time, it loses its life. Second statement, it says, a wife who stays too much away from the husband, her life also goes down. Her life comes down. The third statement, a person who's too much traveling, yes, too much traveling, that person's life comes down. And fourth, a horse, if he's kept fixed in a place, he is not meant to move around, he's kept in a place, his life also goes off. Yes. But the whole principle is ultimately everything has to perish one day. That's the conclusion. Everything is perishable in this material world. There are no imperishable products in the material world. Everything is perishable. So this reality one should understand. And if this reality is understood, you will have the sense of urgency that without delay I have to take up Krishna consciousness. We are late. Kaumaram macharet pragnyo dharman bhagavatam iha durlabam manusho deho tadruvam api artadam tadapi adruvam artadam. So Prahlad Maharaj very clearly tells to his friends that we are supposed to take up Krishna consciousness at the age of 5. Why? Because that is the time the understanding starts to develop in a child. That is the time we should start. So we are all late. We are super late. So with what more intensity should we take up bhakti? So we should think about it. So it's very important to, as soon as we realize the value of human life and the purpose of life, we should take to bhakti seriously. There should be a sense of urgency. Today may be our last day. Today may be our last Bhagavatam class. This may be my last round of japa. If we know this, how we will chant, how we will hear, very important. Next, Her Grace Meenakshi Krishna Pratap Prabhu, you can read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. A patient suffering from a particular type of malady is almost always inclined to accept eatables which are forbidden for him. The expert physician does not make any compromise with the patient by allowing him to take partially what he should not at all take. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is also said that a man attached to fruity work should not be discouraged from his occupation, for gradually he may be elevated to the position of self realization. This is sometimes applicable for those who are only dry empiric philosophers without spiritual realization. But those who are in the devotional line need not be always so advised.
Yeah. Even Lord Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, I'll show you a verse. Na buddhi vedam janayet. This is 3.26. Can someone read? Okay. Priya Mataji, you can read. Na buddhi vedam janayet ajnanam karma sanginam joshayet sarva karmani vidwan yukta samacharan.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Translation 3.26. So as not to disturb the minds of ignorant men attached to the fruity results of prescribed duties, a learned person should not induce them to stop work. Rather, by working in the spirit of devotion, he should engage them in all sorts of activities for the gradual development of the Krishna consciousness. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna Prabhu.
So this is how one treats the people who are foolish, ajnana. People are foolish who are indulged in attached to fruitive work. We don't tell them you stop the fruitive work, they will leave you. On the other hand, we tell them you joshayet, utilize it for Krishna, yukta samacharan, practice the utilization of this for Krishna's service. That's what is the intelligent men, how they deal with the foolish karmis. That is mentioned. On the other hand, what does Bhagavatam say? These instructions are for whom? These instructions are for the people who are foolish. How an intelligent person should deal with a foolish person. But a person who is intelligent, you should not tell him to become foolish. That's what the last purport which Her Grace Meenakshi Krishna Prabhu read. Yes. Usually a person who is, somebody is having cold. How many of you have got cold? Okay, everyone. In Canada, if you have not got cold, yeah, everyone has got cold. How many of you, even if you have got cold, have desired to eat ice creams? Had the desire? Yeah, we in fact get more desire. Hey, but you got cold. No, I still want ice cream. Similarly, somebody is having some kind of problem in the throat and we want to eat oily things. There are pakodas made, we want to eat. So the tendency in this world is everybody wants to increase their disease. I'll tell you an example. Prabhupada says this story. Prabhupada says that once there was a mistress, house mistress, a landlady. And landlady had a maidservant. So this maidservant was not working properly. She asked the maidservant, "Why are you not working properly?" The maidservant said, "Madam, I'm feeling sick." She said, I'll get a doctor to treat you." So the doctor came and he, using the thermometer, he checked the temperature of the maidservant. And he said, "Madam, she's actually sick. She's down with 102 degrees Fahrenheit." And the landlady said, "Anyway, the doctor has come. Why don't I check my health also?" So he said, "Doctor, you check my health." So doctor checked her health and he said, "You're perfectly normal." He said, "What do you mean by normal?" He said, "Your temperature is 98.6 degree Fahrenheit." And this landlady became very wild. "How is it that I have lesser fever than my maidservant? You check properly. I want more than 102. I want 103. He said, "You should be happy you're normal." "No, I want more fever than my maidservant. What should I do to increase my fever?" Yeah, and she ends up spoiling her health and then saying, "See, thus you see, I have more fever than you." That's what people in this world are doing. They're competing to increase their fever of material existence. And ultimately this fever rises to the point of becoming 105, 106, and somebody attains 107 at the time of death. The temperature of the body becomes so high. That's called Marana Jwara, 107 degrees. And that means death. The person dies and then the body becomes extremely cold. Very cold. Yeah, after the great heat, it becomes very, very cold. That's how the death happens. So people are wanting to attain Marna Jwar. We want to die fast. That is the goal of life for these people. So these are the people who are foolish. So don't encourage people to do fruitive activities. Okay, some who are engaged in fruitive activity anyway, engage them in a spirit of devotion and then become devotees. They will get higher taste. But people who are somewhat intelligent, they should not be encouraged to perform fruitive activities. One last example that comes to a mind, which I will speak and then conclude, is Narad Muni. Narad Muni saw the children of Daksha. Daksha had sent his 10,000 children. They were called as Hari Ashwas. He sent them to IIT College, Indian Institute of Tapasya, in the banks of Narayan Saras. He sends them there and he tells them, "You all do nice tapas." And Narad Muni comes and sees so young boys doing such wonderful austerities. I feel so sorry. They are ready to go back to Godhead. But now what? Now their father will go, tell them to come back home, get them married, then they will develop children. The ato grihak setra suptakta vidyari janasya moham aham hamiti. These guys will get entangled in Maya. Unnecessary. Is it necessary? So let us make them self-realized, send them back to Godhead. Finished. Done. So Narad Muni saw these people are ready. The kind of austerities they are performing, they are ready. He didn't give the same instruction to Mrigari. He rather told Mrigari to settle down with a wife, get married, settle down, and live a simple life near a river, worship Tulsi. He gave him different instructions. He didn't tell Mrigari, you join me, sannyas. He saw they are ready candidates. So Narad Muni used to give instruction as per the advancement of the candidate or the readiness of the candidate. He saw these candidates are ready. Why to unnecessarily get back to material life? The purpose of human life is to go back to Godhead. So these people are ready candidates. Let them go back to Godhead. Done. So that is Narad Muni's preaching. He just quotes 3 shlokas and 10,000 of them join Brahmacharya ashram. They all become sadhus and they go back to Godhead. But still, Daksha still sends the next 1,000 children to the same college. IIT, Indian Institute of Tapasya. And Narad Muni, to them, he just preaches in one verse. He says, it's the duty of younger brother to follow elder brother. They understand. They're also gone. Daksha is waiting. Where are my children? They're supposed to come back. At least 1,000 should come back. And then Narad Muni himself comes. He says, oh, in all this course, Daksha did not get delivered. So he comes them and informs. Like this, your all children have gone back to God. And Daksha becomes very upset. He says, for Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. That is the procedure. You directly transported them to Sannyas. So I curse you. I curse you that you will never have a home, residence. Narad Muni said, thank you so much. I anyway don't want. I want facility to continuously travel and preach. And Prabhupada writes in the purport, I think my disciples' parents are also cursing me because I'm making so many brahmacharis. That's why I'm not able to stay in one place and write books. I have to keep running from here and there. Hare Krishna. So that's the thing. Somebody is ready. That basis on the candidate, the instruction should be given. Don't generalize everyone to do sense gratification. Yeah. Any questions? Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I have a question where you were speaking about the lifespan of individual reducing. You said if a wife stays too much away from her husband, her lifespan will go down, and traveling too much, lifespan goes down. Could you clarify this? Because some of us travel because we live in the West, whether we want to go and travel to go and see our Gurudev or to go and see yatras in India. So we do travel a lot. So I want
My question.
clarity when you say that.
There are two things. One question is, if suppose you are born 5,000 years ago, how will you travel to go and meet your Gurudev?
Yeah.
Please
It's
tell me.
different. It's different. Ship.
How? You have to tell. How?
Do you have to take a ship?
Ship?
Like a boat?
That's
Or
opulence.
that didn't even exist then?
Walking.
Ah.
So Scarborough to Alachua. Walking. That's how you go. Yeah. See, the main what happens is our body takes a lot of time to adjust to the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether of that place. Yes. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. Every place's earth for fire, water, air, ether is different, and it takes time to adjust. Some people you have seen, it takes some time for adjust water. So that adjustment takes energy. That's the principle. So that doesn't mean now we stop traveling. No, don't worry so much. Traveling for a Krishna conscious purpose is Tirth Yatra. This traveling is for what purpose? This traveling is to for sense gratification. Traveling to Tirth Yatra is a great punya. It's going to increase your life like anything. You're traveling to a pilgrimage, holy places. That way, you see, Narad Muni is living since the beginning of this millennium. Yes, he travels all across the universe and he has inter-universal travels also, outside universe. So this travel is material travel for sense gratification. People go to this amusement park, the Switzerland, Holland, like this. They keep traveling around. We want Europe tour. Such people, they lose their life. You're traveling for a Krishna conscious purpose, Krishna will give more life. You're preaching so nicely, I'll give more facility. Narad Muni traveled all over the world. Gampari, Pariyatan, Tushta Managarta, Spriha, Kalam, Pratikshan, Vimado, Vimatsar. You preach so nicely in the earth, I'll give you passport, visa, license to go all over the universe. Next, promotion. You can travel everywhere. Right? So your facility will enhance. And about that separation, you look at how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's first wife died. Lakshmi Ma. Okay, she didn't die, she disappeared. Yes, Lakshmi Priya. How did this happen? It happened because of separation from the husband. So in separation, the wife feels very intense separation, and that emotions makes her very, very emotional. And somebody is too emotional, the lifespan reduces. Anyways, you get too much anger, too much of lamentation, overthinking. These all things spend a lot of your energy, and thus one keeps becoming weak. That's why having a stable mind in Sattva-guna is important. People who are Rajasic and Tamasic will reduce their life. That's the principle.
Thank you. But it's the opposite from genders, right? Because my grandfather lived 20 plus years without my grandmother after she passed.
Yeah, possible. It's possible.
Thank you.
Yes, Nisha Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dandavat
Yeah.
pranams. Thank you for the beautiful class, as always. Prabhu, my question is, you said one should take up to bhakti process as soon as possible.
Mhm.
So, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, what is exactly the, can you elaborate on the process? Because as individuals, everyone can have a different definition of following the bhakti process.
Correct. Everybody may have different definition and conception, but the process of bhakti is very clearly delineated in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu by Rupa Goswami, where he says Bhakti's first limb is Adav Guru Padashraya, taking shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. Then Krishna Diksha Adi Shikshanam. Diksha in the sense he begins doing Shravanam and Kirtanam. That is the main thing. Diksha means Shravan Kirtan. He starts under a guru. Then Vishrambena Guru Seva, serving spiritual master intensely. Sadhu Vartmanu Vartmanam, following in his footsteps. Sadharma Pricha, inquiries. So the top five limbs with the spiritual master. So it's all begins under the spiritual master. So when you come in contact with the bona fide teacher, I wouldn't call it spiritual master, because as soon as we say spiritual master, we only think Diksha Guru. No, this means a good teacher of Krishna consciousness, and they instruct you to chant. They instruct you to come for the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita class. Yes, your process has begun. That's the process. Okay. Okay, thank you. There are two questions. Nutan, Prabhu, Raksha. Okay, three. In which verse Pravritti and Nivritti Marg is explained? 1.1.2. We study properly, we understand. Bhagavatam is direct. The second verse itself of Bhagavatam. Could you please elaborate on horse kept in a stable, Prabhuji? Yes. A horse kept in a stable means the nature of a horse is to be on the move, to carry load of people and keep moving. So if horse is not acting as per its nature, it is just staying in the stable, which is not the nature of horse, you will die. Even this human body, what is killed? There was a very nice, it wasn't a meme, it was a video. They showed liquor, they showed this burger, they showed cigarettes, and a chair. What is killing you? Four options, A, B, C, D. And the correct answer is chair. That means a person sitting in one place. We are meant to move. We are meant to work hard. We are meant to be moving. We are not meant to have a sedentary lifestyle, sitting in one place. That's what this particular theme was elaborating. Okay. I'll take Hina Prabhu's question. My question is regarding the Prahlad Maharaj's preaching. If I wasted my life from the age of 5 till now 30, there is more conditioning in this time wasted. How to understand the urgency of this deep, ingrained conditioning, Prabhuji, of many lifetimes? Well, this is why we take shelter of the beauty of bhakti is taking shelter of the spiritual master. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Kuro Idase Trinapeka Atihina. Yes, your name is coming in this sloka, in this particular bhajan, Hina. Sakala Sahane Baladiya Karo Nijamane Spruha Hina. Sakala Sammana Kurite Shakati Devonatha Yata Yata Tabe to Gaibo Harinama Sukhe Aparada Hobe Hata. So he's mentioning how to go beyond all conditionings to chant Niraparadhanam. And that's possible by the blessings of spiritual master. A spiritual master blesses, one can, and how to get the blessings of spiritual master, one has to sincerely endeavor to please Guru. So that's what we are. Now look at the hippies, how much conditioning they had. Heavy conditioning of the Western, brainwashed by the Western philosophy and sinful activities. But they just gave their life to Prabhupada. Okay, we didn't even know what is bhakti, what is Krishna. They just saw that this Swamiji is a genuine person. And they surrendered their lives. They went beyond all conditionings to become very pure souls, pure-hearted souls. And today they are running the movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes, that's the beauty of this. All conditionings. I'll give you one more homework. You can read 7th Canto, 15th chapter, Shloka number 25. I'll show it. Because long time I've not taken questions. I didn't want to keep. So all conditions are mentioned in 22-23. This mentions the condition how to get rid of Kam, Krodh, Lobh. You can read this also. Bhaya. Then the next verse talks about Shoka, Moha, Dambha, Mava, and Himsa. How to get rid of all these conditionings. And then one step. These are all different processes which takes time. But there's one step method. Rajas tamascha satvena satyam chopashamena cha etat sat sarvam guru bhaktya purusho hi anjasa jayet. You can conquer all conditioning. Jayet. Anjasa means easily. By what? Guru bhakti. Etat tat sarvam guru bhaktya purusho hi anjasa jayet. With guru bhakti you can easily conquer all these conditionings. So if there's hope for everyone. So even Kaumaram, one becomes Kaumara, what is one doing? Guru bhakti. Yes, he surrenders like Brahmachari, Gurukule, Vasandanto, Guru Ritam, Acharan Dasavatnicho, Guru Sudra Sauhridam. So he's under a spiritual master and surrendered. That's what he does. Right. Nice question. Thank you. हम यहीं पे विराम देंगे. We'll pause here and go for the Hindi class.